Their names are Joe Varnell and Kevin Bourassa. Next month, they plan to walk down the aisle and into Canadian history. They expect to be the first gay couple in this country to be legally married. Many believe such a trip to the altar is long overdue. It's simply the next step in the long struggle by gays and lesbians to have their relationships recognized in law. But others see it differently. Over the next few weeks, we'll explore some of those issues. We'll be following Joe and Kevin as they prepare to be legally wed forever and always.
Joe, I promise to support and to love, to protect and to respect the very essence of you and all that you are.
Kevin, on this day I pledge my life and my love to you. Where you lead, I will follow. When you stumble, I will catch you.
August 28th, 1999.
When you are sad, I will console you, and when you are happy, I will rejoice.
Kevin Bourassa and Joe Varnell exchange vows in what they call a celebration of Holy Union.
I wish to share life with you throughout our years to come. I love and accept you unconditionally.
There are promises and praise.
With gratefulness to you for your love, and to God for the presence in my life.
Now, 1 year later, a new commitment to do it all again, and this time, make it legal.
Always and forever you will remain my partner, my soulmate, my lover, and my best friend. Think about every year, I'm going to buy it on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Kevin Bourassa and Joe Varnell met 3.5 years ago and moved in together shortly afterward. Bourassa is a banker. Varnell is a website coordinator. Today, they're doing the kind of things you might find any married couple doing. But this weekend, they hope to make history. At this church in Toronto, they, along with another couple, will use the ancient Christian tradition of marriage bans to obtain a marriage license. Something no other same-sex couple has been able to do before. Why is a formal legal marriage so important to you?
I want to be treated like any other couple in the eyes, and in the eyes of God, I was created equal. So having the right to marry like any other couple is important to me. I feel that that's important to me as a person. I should have that right, and God created me this way. So why in His house and my house can't I have a marriage like everyone else? That's why it's important to me.
What is it to you, Kevin?
For me, it's almost a social issue. I found that marriage is an institution with certain rituals, with certain rites, and one of them is the gathering of your family and your friends to celebrate the marriage, but not only to celebrate, but to offer their ongoing support.
But you've had a ceremony of sorts, a holy union, yes, that is recognized certainly by this congregation, and obviously something that's important in your own spiritual life, in your own faith. In the kind of marriage that you describe, don't you have those things, that community, that recognition, that kind of support? What you don't have is a legal piece of paper.
We're very, very fortunate, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. We're very lucky to have a support network through our home, through our people at work, through our family, through our church. We have a wide support network, but many people don't. And for those people, that's why we're doing that.
As well, you know, it does come back to this issue of, yes, we have that, but at the same token, how did we get that? We would have loved if the law had been such that we could have gone down to the city hall and had the formalized ceremony the first time. Instead, you know, we are going through the method of having the banns read in church, which is legal and all of that. But, you know, this isn't for everyone. And some people will not choose to have the banns read and would prefer to choose this other legal method. If we can move forward and get other people so that they can marry or not marry in the manner that they choose.
Bourassa and Varnell's choice is to have banns read starting this Sunday. Here's how it works. Instead of getting a marriage license before the service, something that's impossible for same-sex couples, the church can marry a couple by publishing banns. If no one in the congregation has a legitimate reason the marriage should not go ahead, the priest can marry them and issue the license. Brent Hawkes is the minister who will perform the service. Describe what's actually going to happen on Sunday.
Then the service will begin as usual at 11 o'clock with the choir singing a short piece and the call to worship, and then the processional hymn when we process down the aisle with the cross and the candles, and come to the front, and there'll be an opening prayer, and then I will get up and officially read the banns. And it's a very short statement, and and I will read the banns, and then there will be a pause to see if anyone objects.
Lawyer Doug Elliott is a member of the congregation and the lawyer for the Metropolitan Community Church. So tell me what the process is, the legal process that I suppose goes into effect once the bans are published.
The bans of marriage really, publication of bans of marriage, which is really just an announcement in the church of the intention to marry that takes place 3 times, takes the place of getting a marriage license at City Hall, so that once you've conformed with those requirements and the marriage ceremony takes place in accordance with the rituals of the church, it's a legal, valid marriage from that moment.
So we do have something to toast.
It's true that the Ontario law that deals with the reading of bans doesn't specify the couple must be a man and a woman. But it's the federal government that in the end decides who can get married. And there is federal case law which makes marriage off limits to same-sex couples. This could be a fight. It could be a long legal fight. It could be a noisy, controversial fight. Tell me, are you ready for that?
Do you ever know if you're ready until it shows up? Yes, in some ways I think we are ready. We've discussed what this means to both of us as individuals. We've discussed what it means to us as a couple and as members of a larger community. This is about more than simply 2 men wanting to get married. Some people would turn this into, a fight about, are we trying to destroy society or whatever. This really comes down to both religious freedom, the right of our congregation to treat us like any other couple, and what really it comes down to is, the fight for the right to be treated just like anybody else. I don't want this to be seen as a gay marriage. I want this to be seen as a marriage. Being gay is not what defines me, and Kevin is who I'm in love with, not a man named Kevin. I don't want people to see the man first. I want them to see the person first. And this is the person that I choose to spend the rest of my life with, and I want it acknowledged just like anyone else.
Have you thought about what it's going to be like when the bans are read on Sunday?
Well, I know I'm going to be nervous. Particularly the first announcement is going to be scary because one doesn't know what will be encountered. Are there going to be people from various interest groups raising their objections? Are we going to be targeted personally? That's all unknown, and we really don't know what to expect. Our only sense of comfort comes from having a good network, having a good support group like our friends, our family, our colleagues at work. We've covered all the bases to make sure that there's no exposure, at least in terms of support that we can fall back on to strengthen ourselves. But we're going to be playing this like a tennis player on our feet, ready to respond and act based on what we encounter.
I guess the one comfort I have is that Kevin's going to be standing next to me, and if that's comfort to me, and I know that I can face what comes on Sunday because I have him standing next to me, then I guess the marriage is the right thing, because this is the person you want to go through life with, is the one who, when you don't know what's going to happen, you have that hand to hold on to, and that makes it all easy to face.
Part of Joe's vow to me is when I stumble, he'll pick me up, so that gives me some comfort.
Yeah, I want to ask you just a bit about your family.